Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I if I remember, and I won't, I'm gonna. You clicked on this video, and you probably saw a title in the thumbnail, and I'm just gonna let you know right now, this video has nothing to do with that title. It's complete bait. I'm actually curious how many people will respond to that title and start making comments about watching the video at all, because that's happened a few times. So I'm curious. Yeah, I'm trolling. I'm a dick. Yes, confirmed. Um, I it just always cracks me up when like anyway, whatever. But I am in the interest of knee jerk reaction. So maybe this video actually will have something to do with at least my intent for why I'm trolling my audience with ludicrous thumbnails. And I'll tell you this story. So I'm having a day, a fine day, and everything else, and I knew that Marvel was about to. I knew that I was about to. What was I about to do? Oh, I was going to do a video on the Thunderbolts, right? Because they'd done some early promotion, but we didn't know who they were. We didn't know who the creative team was or anything like that. But we're going to get more information on Friday. So I was kind of curious. It's Friday, and I'm walking around, and I get a note from Jim Zub, and Zub's like, "Hey, we should talk, and let's talk about this new book I did." And I'm scrolling up like, "Oh, he's the one who's doing the Thunderbolts. Cool, okay, that's interesting." And I'm anxious to talk to Zub, let him know what's going on. Want to ask him why there's two Power Men. No, but in all honesty, I think I like Zub's work, and I'm curious to see it. And I was like, "Oh, that's nifty." And then I don't have a time to read everything he's saying because I'm walking while I'm looking at this. So I put the phone away, and then I go and I look at my email. For some reason, I don't go back to Zub. I look at email, and I get a picture about, "Hey Perch, have you seen this new cucked version of Thunderbolts? Look at this bright pink gay, that's GHAY cover in Thunderbolts." And I look at this cover, and correct, it has a pink background. I don't. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It's got a pink and purple. I guess the term is bisexual lighting. But the thing I noticed before I see the pink and the purple is the character that's right up in front is Monica Rambeau, who I happen to like as a character, and right behind her is Hawkeye. And I'm like, all right, I'd like to see Hawkeye get some stuff done. And I see some other people like, I don't know who that is. That's that Power Man guy. I don't know who that is, or that character looks vaguely familiar. Is that America Chavez? And then, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. That's a curious team. We'll see how this all goes. But I'm like, oh, good. They're putting Monica Rambeau in something. That's my reaction. So then I go back and I look at Zub's note, and Zub goes, I'll bet people are going to react and get pissed about the pink on the cover. I'm like, sorry. Yeah. Literally, that was the sequence of events for me. I didn't tell him I'd gotten a pink covered mail. But it's absurd, right? I mean, I'm sorry. It is absurd. Yes, pink is a color. Purple is a color. You can have pink and purple on a comic together and they're colors. I mean, like, whoa, really? I don't know. I mean, like, who cares? Seriously, do we really care about that? I'll tell you. I mean, so I'll tell you another story. So at one point, I've got, as you know, I've got two daughters, 8 and 11 now. And when they were younger, when my daughter was, I think 6, she came home and she gave me. She's like, hey, I like the color blue. She likes the color blue. She says, I don't like pink. She goes, but some kids at my school say that as a girl, I can't wear blue and boys can't wear pink. And I said, you can wear whatever color you want. It doesn't matter. And I feel like I'm having a dumb conversation. This feels like a conversation that somebody would post on Twitter that didn't actually happen. One of those, your kid's super smart and you stand up on the bus and everybody claps kind of conversations. It doesn't feel like a real conversation. So I'm like, you wear whatever color you want. It depends on how good you look in that color. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, some people, based on their skin tone or their hair color or whatever, also look good in some things than they do in other things. If you, for example, have long red hair and you wear a dress that is the exact same color as your hair, it's going to look weird. That's just color theory. It's going to, so you want to do some things that have some contrast to your, if you're tan, if you're pale, whatever it happens to be, you want to, but at the end of the day, it's what makes you feel comfortable. What do you look good in? And if you, for example, you are a long red-haired person and you're wearing a dress that is the same color as your hair, but you love it, I mean, it's on you. If you're getting an objective opinion whether you look good or something and not, that's one factor. And then if you feel comfortable and good at it, that's the other factor. And you put those two together and you make your choice in the end. I said, but boys can wear pink. That's just silly. She's like, I don't know. I don't even think they would. She's like, they wouldn't even sell you a pink shirt. And because I'm a jerk, I'm like, well, I'll bet you $1 they will. And so she's like, all right, I'll bet you $1. Now it's all, this is all silliness because, I'm giving her money. So I'm betting against myself at this point. But so I'm like, all right, we'll go to the store. So we went to the store and I went in Macy's and I found a pink dress shirt, button up collar dress shirt that you can wear to an office. And I bought the pink shirt, and they sold it to me. And my daughter's standing there, kind of wide eyed, like, "Oh wow, they're selling it to you." Now, I guess she's 6, or maybe it was even 5. She was just very young. She just started, so maybe it was 5 actually. I'm like, "See, they sold me a shirt. You owe me $1." And then she's like, "I don't have $1. Can you give me $1?" And then I gave her $1, and she gave it back to me. And I thought this sums up our financial relationship quite well. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Uh, that's kind of my perspective on how I feel about all these things. Does it look good? Now, this cover for Thunderbolts, it's pink and purple. It looks fine. I mean, again, the color causes the characters to pop. They pop because, you've got in the front, in the kind of the fore image, you have Monica Rambeau, and she's got her classic, or not classic, but it's a black and white kind of spectrum costume. She's wearing a little blue vest for some reason. You've got Hawkeye that's in black and a little bit of purple. You got America Chavez that's wearing, red, white, and blue. And those are kind of, these characters are popping out of the background because of the color choice. If they'd chosen, dark blue, then Hawkeye would have kind of faded into the background. Monica Rambeau wouldn't have stood out as much. If they put white on the picture, just solid white, then parts of Monica's costume would have washed out. If they put yellow, the color contrast would have been super weird with purple. I don't know that pink and purple. You could have done it solid black. That probably also would have worked. You could have done black with just kind of little blue highlights. That probably would have worked. Red would have looked weird. I mean, just anyway, there's some different things it could have done. But it was funny to me that the reaction was bisexual lighting cover gay. Now, keep in mind, just if I'm putting it out there, just on the table, I've heard in Zach's videos him talk about bisexual lighting, but you people understand he's making a joke, right? I mean, he's calling something out, but he is also making a joke. Like, he's not telling you can't use those colors, you dummies. He's making a joke. It's humor. It is humor. It's why is that? Because I believe the bisexual flag is also pink and purple. That's the joke. That is the joke. That's what's going on. I've definitely seen people use this color combination on a lot of YA stuff and things where the characters are they're having gay relationships and everything else because they're trying to match up the flag and everything else. And I've seen it where it looks terrible, where the color contrast doesn't work. But in this case, at least, it works. It fits. It pops. That's the entire point of the cover. Now, I can't tell you. You may pick up this book, open it up, and the first page is Hawkeye, frantically masturbating to a photo of Steve Rogers while he's choking himself. I don't know what Zub wrote for this comic. Could be. We'll judge it at that moment. But maybe it's just going to be all gay all the time. I have no idea. But regardless, from a pure color theory standpoint, it's fine. Again, it pops. And by the way, if you look at a lot of the original Thunderbolts material, when the comic first launched, many, many years ago, back in the 90s, pink and purple were part of that color scheme. No, really, go look it up. It is somewhat of a throwback in that regard. But a lot of things to unpack there. I find it just funny in a way, predictable, sort of. It's just, the thing I always think is like, God, don't be baited by stupid nonsense. Why are you're getting baited by the background color of a comic? I mean, at some point, it gets a little ridiculous, just a bit, a smidge, as they say in cringe circles. That's what's going on. So, um, let me know what you. Is it a funny story? I don't know. Nonsense video, but I was trolling in the thumbnail anyway. Thanks for listening.